Hey guys, welcome to another episode of College Cooking with Andy and TK. I'm Andy, and today we're going to be making one of my personal favorites, nachos. Okay, so things you're going to need, first things first, you're going to need a cookie sheet, tin foil, bag chips, cheese, obviously, can of your favorite beans, one yellow onion, and salsa and guacamole if you want. Also, you can add sour cream or any other topping you want. Okay, so this recipe calls for onion, so I'm going to teach you guys how to cut it. So you have half your onion right here. If you cut it off, cut the top off, but leave the other bud so that it all stays together. And you want to take your knife, and then with the chopping motion, start horizontally and go like that. So cut through, but not all the way through so that the onion stays together. And pull it out. And you're just going to do this horizontal cut all the way up to the top of the onion. And then after you have your horizontal grid like that, you're going to take it and you're going to go vertical. So it kind of just looks like, again, you're not going to cut it all the way through. You're going to cut like that. And it kind of just gives you like a grid pattern on how to do it. Like you can see the little lines on the onions. And you just take it like this and like so. So, if you did it kind of right, you should have finely diced onions. Cool. And then kind of leave that. You don't want to risk cutting your hand off for that little bit of onion. Okay, so now that we have our onions, we're going to put the chips on the plate. Basically, just take your bag of chips. You kind of just create a thin layer of chips across the entire cookie sheet. Now, depending on how many people you have, you're going to want to fill like either half the cookie sheet. I find that about a third of the cookie sheet is enough for about one person. So if you want, like 2 people, that's like half. 3 is mostly like just make a whole one and then you'll finish the rest later. Okay, so now that we have the cookie sheet full of chips, you're going to want to add a thin layer of cheese to it. So like so, just take your cheese and sprinkle it so that it's evenly coated along the whole thing. Just add as much as you want. This is just the base layer. We're going to add another layer of cheese later. Alright, after you have the thin layer of cheese, it's time to add the beans. So just, go in there and just add as many beans as you want, honestly. It's really up to you. I like to add just a little bit around, but make sure it's spread out so that you can get like a decent amount of beans in each bite. So, like so. You can also substitute out the black beans with refried beans or the like. Alright, and after the beans, it's time to add the onion. So again, spread it out as much as you want. Just put a little bit. Too much onion kind of it like overpowers it for me. So just kind of add as much as I see like. Okay, and after the onions, you just add the final layer of cheese. So honestly, just be generous with this one. Just put as much as you want on there. Get a good thick coat. Okay, so now it's time to put them in the oven. I like to put the oven on broil, so I just press broil and turn it on. But what you can do is if your oven doesn't have broil, you can just set it to like 450 or 425 and start heating it up as you start to make the nachos, and then just stick it in later. It doesn't really have to be at 425 for it to cook well. Alright, so just take them. Stick them on the inside self. And basically just eyeball them until they look like the cheese is melted. Alright, cool. So now that we got it out of the oven, we're just going to add the salsa and the guacamole. You just take your salsa, take a spoon. Honestly, just put as much as you want on it. Space it out evenly. I just like to put a little bit everywhere. You can also just do this after, like, after you put this on a plate. You can just take them, put them on the side. Just dip it if you want. Alright, cool. So then after that, guacamole. Guacamole is literally my favorite thing about the nachos, so I'm just going to put like a lot of it on there. You can put as much as you want. Also, if you want sour cream or anything like that, it's also good. Have fun with it. Alright, cool. Okay, guys, so that's it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed watching. So go home and try your own nacho recipe. Thanks.